It's a huge challenge, and Ukraine is the first country in the history of humanity when educational system was completely reestablished despite the full-scale war. But we had no choice because at the moment every seventh school is damaged or completely destroyed by Russian aggression.
There's a very moving feature in the Sunday Times, another classic piece by Christina Lamb, who is, one of the best in the business at doing this. But on this occasion, she's visited a school very near the front line in Ukraine, 9 meters underground in Zaporizhia, barely 10 miles from the front line. Teenagers sit in an English lesson beneath a plaque that reads "Safe School." Above them, drones and missiles target power stations, hospitals and classrooms. Ukraine now has dozens of purpose-built underground schools after Russian attacks damaged more than 4,000 educational buildings over the last nearly 4 years. We can explore this now with two of those involved. Natalia Hutaruk is a teacher in an underground school, and Zoya Lytvyn is founder of the Ukrainian education charity Osvitoria. Natalia, paint a picture for us, a bit like Christina Lamb has done in the paper today. Paint a picture of what a lesson feels like in a school that's 9 meters underground.
Hello, I'm excited to be here and to share a few words about the experience our children have to live within. Actually, when they are underground, as you've mentioned before, almost 9 meters, they feel safe, and there is the illusion of a normal school day with the fuss, with the mess, with the falling in love, and with the great amount of interesting inventions within their school subjects. But actually, their day is full of very unexpected events because even the way to school can be dangerous. And if there are the air alerts, it's a huge challenge to get to school because our school is in the center of the city and most of students live in the districts nearby. So they need to get to school under the missile and the drone attacks. And believe me, parents choose to go to school because they prefer face-to-face education. It's the priority number one for Ukraine in general because students need to continue education. And when they get underground, when see each other, they hug each other, they exchange the latest news, and they get immersed into their everyday lesson routine. Yeah, our lessons are not as usual because we start them with the support, with the emotional support, with the kind of eliciting how do they feel, what do they know, what interesting happened the day before or something like that. So I would say that support goes first and teaching subject goes the second. But actually students enjoy going to school, and believe me, they choose face-to-face education rather than sitting online and being behind the screen.
Zoya, it's extraordinary that you've managed to get such a system up and running in Ukraine. How big a challenge has it been? What was the determination behind it to sort of, keep that education show on the road?
So, of course, it's a huge challenge. And, Ukraine is the first country in the history of humanity when educational system was completely reestablished despite the full-scale war. But we had no choice because at the moment, every seventh school is damaged or completely destroyed by Russian aggression, and 500,000 learners, they don't have access to regular schools. They can learn only remotely online, or they can learn in hybrid format. It means they can come to school only 2 days a week in shifts. So Ukraine had to do something, especially in regions like Zaporizhia. And at the moment we have 96 schools like that constructed. We don't know, like Ukraine doesn't officially declares where all of them are situated, but Natalia is teaching is one of schools like that. And by the end of the year, we plan as a country to have 200 schools like that, because for many of the children, that's the only opportunity to remain in the system of education.
Natalia, do they, because it's an enormous distraction and a stress just to get to school, and it can't feel normal, at least initially, to be doing it without windows and deep underground. But to what extent, is your story one of, the extraordinary resilience of particularly young children in situations like this, where they get on with it? How are they doing academically, and how are they doing with all the other things that you tend to pick up at school?
Mhm. It might be strange to say, but students try to adjust to such realia. I would choose the word adjust because it means that they have to digest this situation both mentally, physically, and choose the best option for them. And believe me, they choose. Actually, it was very frustrating in the very first month when we came to face-to-face education, because before, students were studying online almost 4 years. Could you imagine? They haven't seen each other for 4 years. And when they came to school for the very first time, they couldn't believe their eyes that these are their classmates, that these are their teachers. They are real. They can talk to them. They can come to them. They can ask tricky questions to them, and they can discuss everyday issues with them. And the very first month, there was very significant drop in academic results because everyone got used to study online, and we had all kinds of gadgets nearby. So if the teacher asks the questions, the students have some space to find the answer. And when they are in the classroom, they need to have all the information in their head, and they need to learn to work in teams, in groups again, to come and to find the solution for some of the tasks. That is why, yes, the very first month it was very challenging for them, and some of the parents even had to find the tutors to help their children to catch up academically. But now everything goes rather smoothly because we have a so-called routine, I would say, because we know that these lessons we have face-to-face. These tasks can be completed in a synchronous way. These tasks can be completed in asynchronous way. So this routine has, I would say, the positive impact, because if you can predict something, it becomes positive for you, and it's rather calm, and it decreases stress.
Natalia,
So,
yeah, Natalia and Zoya, thank you very much. It's not only positive, it's very inspiring, and power to your elbows. Very grateful to both of you for telling us about that experience.